My name is Sandra Lupo, and I'm a wire jewelry instructor here at the Newark Museum Arts Workshop. I've been teaching here for at least 4 or 5 years, and I've been a student here for many more years than that. I'd like to demonstrate to you how to make a clasp out of wire to blend with a necklace that I made as a sample for my students to then take the idea and go with it. To my left here is the wire that we like to work with. Different gauges, different types of wire, bare brass, bare copper, plated wires. We also work with color. These are just some of the tools that we use. Different types of pliers, forming pliers, a basic round nose chain nose, a good pair of cutters, and these types of tools are available here at the Arts Workshop for students to use. I also have them forge wire, manipulate wire with hammers and steel blocks, and other types of forming tools relevant to metalworking. What I plan to demonstrate for you today is how to make a clasp to close off this necklace here, which is my design for my wire series class. I have cut a 2.5 to 2.75 inches of 14 gauge copper wire, bare copper wire, and I'm now going to manipulate it and turn it into a clasp that would be suitable to attach to this necklace. I've cut the wire, and now I plan to make a paddle with the hammer on the steel bench block. It's about a 3/8 of an inch, a little bit more. We'll flatten it just a little more to create a nice paddle. I'm going to clean it up with a metal file just to take some edges down. And then what I will do is I will polish this paddle with a polishing cloth. The tool that I'd like to use to turn the wire is called a forming plier, and it will allow me to make a circle with the end of that wire. A little bit of force is used here because as you manipulate the wire becomes stronger. So now I have just a tiny little circle at the end of this wire. What I plan to do is to create the curve in the wire, and I work with what is called a wrap and tap pliers that have barrels of varying sizes. I have chosen to use the middle barrel for this piece of wire to create my clasp. I will turn the wire around the barrel to create a hook. I'll do the same thing on the other side. It might be symmetrical, it might not, but in either case, symmetry or not, it will function properly as a clasp. I will do the same thing on the other side. And you see that my fingers help the tool along. It's not just the work of the tool, but also your fingers. Now what I plan to do, I've put the curve in. I'm going to take the curve out just a little bit so that I can hammer this side of the paddle just as I did the other. And again, I will take this small forming pliers. Well, first I will put the curve back into the plier. I'll put the curve back into the wire. And now I'll take that smaller tool, the forming tool, to create the little circle at the end, which is actually ending the wire. Again, a good grip so that I can turn the wire inward to create the small circle. A flat nose pliers allows me to close that little circle on both sides. And the only thing left to do now is to place the clasp back on the block and hammer out just a little bit of the curve to give it added dimension and strength. I'll manipulate it just a little bit with my fingers. And what I would do in the studio is I would use a patina to darken it so that it might match just a little bit better the coloring of the darkened bronze or copper or rich low brass, which we tend to use. I'm going to add this to the ring, one side, and I like to close the side a little bit. I'll take a flat nose pliers, just give this a little pinch, and the other side functions as the hook that will go through the ring. The necklace is complete and ready to be worn with its handmade clasp.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect demo.